A brand new coffee machine for just £1. With Lavazza My Way. Never run out of your favourite coffee.
£1? Are you kidding me?
We may say things differently.
Aluminium.
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 But ultimately, our goal is still the same. To make aluminium recycled
Part of your everyday life.
One goal.
one globe.
Aluminium is infinitely recyclable.
We drive towards a more sustainable world.
And we're doing it together.
Yeah, welcome back then. 1-1 in our first leg against Slavia Prague at the Emirates Stadium, which in a two-legged competition, when you go down or when you lose an away goal in your home leg, very, very disappointing, especially to do it in injury time from a set piece, which could have been prevented. Adrian Clark still alongside me there. Initial thoughts on the 90 minutes, mate? I mean, we didn't get going quickly enough, in my opinion. By the time we got the goal, should have been, able to hang on, but we weren't, and here we are.
Yeah, hammer blow at the end. I mean, what a difference, one corner makes. I think Arsenal winning this game 1-0 puts them in absolute pole position to go through. And now, all of a sudden, with that away goal, Arsenal know that they've got to go there and score goals and bring the shooting boots that they left at home this evening. So, yeah, really, really frustrating night. I felt that while it wasn't a vintage Arsenal performance by any stretch of the imagination, we're still a long way off where we want to be. Should have won the game 3-0. I mean, should have won it 3-0. It's as simple as that. Gilt-edged chances squandered. Yet we find ourselves, discussing a 1-1 draw. It's a tough one to take, that.
So frustrating. And, we've spoke on this show on numerous occasions about how important away goals are if you have them, and how terrible they can be if they're against you. It means we have to go to Prague next week to, David Hillier touched on it in commentary. We've got to win out there. Sitting here now, and I don't want this to bite me on the backside next week, but sitting here now, I think we can go out there and I think we can score most definitely. So, I don't want to be Mr. Doom and Gloom here, although it feels like a real, punch in the gut to concede a goal that late on. I think we can go there and, it's not over.
No, it's not over. Absolutely not. No, I still think Arsenal are favourites to progress. I think based on what we saw tonight, Arsenal certainly nowhere near the best, nowhere near the capabilities that this squad has. Should have won 3-0, as I've just said, and I'm very confident that we'll create chances over there in Prague. And it's all about being clinical and taking those opportunities. That high line of theirs will exist again in the second leg. They're not going to change their style. That's what they're about. They're full-blooded. They get in your face and they take risks. And they took risks at the end to score a goal, and fair play to them for that. It's criminal game management on Arsenal's part to concede. Got to look at that moving forwards. But no, I'm confident that we can go to Prague and get the job done. But we can't say that this result isn't a major disappointment, because it is.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, actually, about next week and how you expected them to play. Just because, now that they've got that away goal, it can lead teams into, especially teams like Slavia, where, I think they know that we're the favourites in this game. I think it's fair to say. So, I almost expect them to kind of try to soak up a lot of Arsenal pressure and basically stop us from scoring and then hit us on the break.
Yeah. But they still have their style, and their style is still to sort of close down and work hard and be awkward to play against. But yeah, you're right. They don't have to come out and attack us. And and they might play for a 0-0, and it's a dangerous game to play, isn't it? When you adopt that strategy. I think they did get a draw with Leicester.
Yeah, Leicester.
in the home leg. It was a low scoring game. It might even have been a goalless draw, but it was a low scoring game there, and it opened it up for them to go through on away goals. So they're capable of keeping clean sheets on home turf. But look, I think we could all see that we've got the quality to open up Slavia Prague and to hurt them, and that we've got options as well, as we saw with the players coming off the bench. So look, it's a bad result. Let's make no bones about it. It's a bad result, and I think the performance was indifferent. It was patchy, but when you say all those things, and then you look at the chances that Arsenal missed in this game, it shows you, it should actually give you confidence that we'll go there and win the second game.
I think it's the nature of conceding that late on, and the fact that we've missed so many chances that's going to sting the most from tonight's performance, isn't it? Because, my immediate reaction, I don't know about you, Clarky, if you've had a look on social media, when you draw like this, it definitely feels like a loss, and Arsenal Twitter is going to be awash with all kinds of mad views.
I know. Well, yeah, it is what it is. I don't really care. Everyone's going to blow off some steam. That's fine. We're all frustrated. But the bottom line is 2 1v1s. We've got to put those away. I mean, Bukayo Saka is in a great position. He's got all the time in the world. It's a pretty easy finish, bottom corner. And then Alexandre Lacazette puts himself through 1v1. And honestly, it's the easiest chance you'll ever get. It really is. And the keeper even made it more simple, because he went to ground really early. He went and had a little lay down, and all Lacazette had to do was just dink it over him into the empty net. And his body shape was all wrong, and he sort of skewed it high. And I think in the end, he's lucky that it hits the post. It was that bad a finish. So, get those 2 moments right, Arsenal still win the game 3-1. And we're chipper. It's with the same performance. So I can't get angry about that. I can't get angry about that performance because players miss chances. It's down to those big moments. You've got to be clinical. You've got to be ice cold.
Yeah. Just before we get into what we learned from tonight's performance, do you think we missed Martin Ødegaard at all tonight? He's made a big difference for us over the past few weeks, missing this evening.
I do. I think he was a big miss. Yeah. We missed Thomas Partey. Yeah. He wasn't with it tonight. It was an off night for him. And we definitely missed Martin Ødegaard. His link play. I think Lacazette really missed teaming up with him. And it didn't really happen for Emile Smith-Rowe. He did okay in patches. His best work was done in wide areas. In those pockets where Ødegaard dominates, Emile Smith-Rowe was very much on the periphery. So the sooner we can get Martin back fit again, the better. I feel in that position. But it was just so frustrating. It's a tough one to talk about. Absolutely
gutting. Right, let's sink our teeth into what we learned from tonight's performance. Then we can have a look at the first thing, and it's this: Arteta's substitutes made a difference.
A difference. It's not the difference. It's they would have made the difference had Arsenal hung on to claim the 1-0, because Aubameyang, of course, sets Pepe free, and it's a great goal. Amid all the frustration, it was a terrific goal. Yeah, as Gaz says there, brilliant setup and finish. All the subs done more intense. I wouldn't agree with that. They weren't sensational, the subs, but it was a great goal.
Yeah, another one here. Pepe's brilliant finish. Aubameyang done well too. That could be a massive goal in this tie. Only question is, why these subs weren't made earlier. They've changed the game.
Yeah, I'm with that. I do think that Mikel was a little bit too cautious. He held back, and I think it was pretty clear that pacing behind was the way to really hurt this team. And with so much of it on the bench, I just felt 55 minutes, 60 minutes, that's when I would have made those changes. We waited to the 70th minute. So I did understand the supporters' frustration at that. But it was a great goal, lovely finish, lovely little dink from Pepe. And look, when all said and done with Pepe, he can frustrate, but you look at all of the stats, all of the sort of metrics, he is a goal getter. Mm-hmm. has more chances than anybody else, really, other than Aubameyang and Lacazette, and he's not far off of those two. He gets into goal-scoring positions. He is a goal scorer. And for that reason, I think he should get more game time, because this Arsenal team is a bit light on goal threats. We've got a lot of technique, got a lot of technical players, good link players, but not that many finishers. And for me, Lacazette's a finisher, even if he didn't show it tonight. Aubameyang's a finisher, and Pepe is a finisher. Obviously, Martinelli too.
Yeah.
You've got to get, for me, 2 or 3 finishers into your team if you can.
And when you consider how much Pepe's been on the bench as well this season, the stat there's even more impressive. You know, when he does play, he gets chances and he gets goals.
I think he's had the 3rd most shots in the Premier League. I looked earlier, and I don't know if it's obviously in the Europa League, he's been heavily involved in everything. But yeah, in the Premier League, he's barely played, has he, really, from the start? But yeah, I think Lacazette and Aubameyang roughly the same, and Pepe only just short of those guys in terms of shots on goal. And his minutes per goal ratio is excellent. So yeah, even though he does frustrate, he makes things happen.
Yeah. All right, well, let's have a look at the second thing then that we learned from tonight's performance then. And that second thing is this: with more clinical end product, Arsenal would have put the tie to bed. We've discussed it a bit previously, but let's have a look at some tweets that you've been sending in, Tom, here, saying Saka and Smith Rowe having very different games tonight. One is constantly involved, but the end product has been horrendous by his standards. The other with some really nice, intelligent bits of play, but just not on the ball nearly as much as we'd probably like. Louis here says getting into some decent positions, but the final ball is awful. And when crosses are good, nobody is in the box. Only problem with Laka, who comes deep, and Emil Smith Rowe behind him, who drifts wide. Yeah. And then another one here from Gunner since 96 says, this is the problem with Arsenal wasting opportunities. The moment we lose it in the final third, we're gifting them a 2v2 or 3v2. It's too risky. It happened quite a lot in that game, but you were just going to pick up on the second tweet there, Clarky, I believe.
Look, with Lacazette, when he does come deep, and that's just the way he is as a centre forward, it's kind of what we do. It is really imperative that tonight Saka and Willian, really, and Smith Rowe go in beyond where they can. And really, Saka did it well, but the others didn't tonight. But late on, we saw it. Pepe made the run in beyond. Martinelli will do that. If he gets longer on the pitch, he will do that. So these guys, and Aubameyang, when he's on it, he will make those runs in beyond, won't he, from the left wing position. So yeah, that's what we have to do if Lacazette leads the line. And that's why I think maybe the team selection wasn't quite right this evening, given the high line, given Lacazette being the pivot at the top of the pitch. I think we needed someone on the left who was going to make those runs beyond. And whether that was Pepe, Aubameyang or Martinelli, it wouldn't really have mattered to me. We just stylistically, that would have been a better selection in my view. But look, I'm sure that he'll assess the game and look at it ahead of the return leg.
Yeah, and we'll have to as well, because obviously the left-hand side, it can't remain problematic. Because obviously the games come thick and fast. We're playing again on Sunday, Sheffield United, who might be bottom of the league, but it will still be a bit of a test for us. But Kieran Tierney's not going to be back. We know that. So I guess the solution you're looking at, I know you would quite like to see Bukayo Saka pushed back to left back or left wing back and see what we can do there, right?
In some games, yeah, But look, I mean, if he did, then you've got Pepe on the right, haven't you? And we saw what he could do in the last 15 minutes there. But look, I've no issue with Cedric at left back and playing Saka wide right. I just think get Pepe into the team, maybe on the left. And you've obviously got the option of using Aubameyang as the main striker as well. So look, there are tools there. Arteta's got plenty of options tactically. I just think surely for the second leg, especially if Ødegaard's fit, which we desperately hope he will be, he's got that ability to make the passes. Saka has to be a pick, I think. You've got to have runners. I think the other guys in the other front three, apart from Saka, have to be, or the other front two, apart from Ødegaard and Saka, have to be guys that run in beyond.
Yeah, I think we'll be in a position where, if we can't if we can't re-establish danger down our left-hand side without Kieran Tierney, other teams will know that, and it will make us significantly weaker going forward.
Cedric and Pepe linked really well, didn't they? You cast your mind back to, I think it was the Southampton game. They linked up so well. It was a good combination. It had a bit of chemistry. Right footer, left footer, someone to go on the outside. That might be the way forward.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what Mikel Arteta does, and nobody knows what Mikel Arteta is going to do from game to game. Right, let's have a look at the third and final thing that we learn from tonight's performance. Then, hopefully, we should be able to have a look at that. I believe it's to do with substitutions. Anyway, if we're not ready for it just yet, let's talk about the substitutions about tonight, because that really did change the game, didn't it? And lots of people were screaming for subs on my Twitter before Mikel Arteta made them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I think he could have been a bit more decisive, Mikel Arteta, and it's just one of those things. He is a cautious coach by nature. I think, it's easy for us. It's easy for us. We're sat at home. Yeah. Well, everyone's sat at home, really, aren't they? The handful of press, of course, in something. It is easy for us to say, "Come on, get a move on." But when you're in that technical area, and when the pressure is on you, your mind might not be as clear as it would be if you were sat at home, and you can see different things in the flesh as well. That much has to be said, and that's why no one knows how you can be the smartest football guy. You could have played at the highest level. You could have worked with some amazing managers, but until you're the one standing on your own in the technical area with no help from anyone else, making those big calls, no one knows how good you are and at game management. And I think Arteta is learning as he goes along, and I think it's an area that he will look to no doubt improve on moving forwards. The last slide, if we can't get it up, it's not the end of the world. It's in regards to the late goal, the late concession, and what it means to the second leg. It means that second leg is a high pressure affair, doesn't it, Nick, for Arsenal? And we've got to rise to that pressure. And I'm quietly confident that we will. I really am. It's a tough one, but we do have the firepower to go to Prague and score an away goal. But defensively, the lack of clean sheets is an issue, isn't it, Nick? I mean, in the Premier League, I think it's 7 games without one. Again tonight, on the verge of one, it didn't happen. I think we Slavia have some dangerous players. We have to have that clean sheet mentality when we go over there in a week's time.
Yeah, very much so. That is the last slide. Thank you very much. There was me thinking it was about subs. That was the first one. We need to make sure we go out to Slavia and out to Prague, and we can't concede again. We need to get a goal early on if preferable, and then we'll take it from there. Right, listen, Clarky, thank you very much for your company this evening. You'll be back with me on the Breakdown Live Sunday for our next game in the Premier League. Already mentioned it. We travel to Sheffield United. Bramall Lane is the location. 7 p.m. is the kickoff. Make sure you log on to arsenal.com and the app at around 6:30 for more of the Breakdown Live. We'll see you then.